Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. We made it to Friday. It's April 9th. What do we got going on today? We got the markets at a record high. New record high on the Dow. New record high on the S&P. I don't know why we can't have a new record high every day. I don't know why we have to have down days anymore in the market. Let's just have the Fed print a little extra money and start buying stocks also. Why not? Let's put that plunge protection team to work. We don't need down days. We only go straight up. Well, what we got going on is a market that is very, very separate from what the economy is doing. The economy is not going up. The economy is going down. Stock market's going up. We are in an asset-driven economy. Assets are going up. If you have assets, you're very happy right now because they only go up. Now, we're going to talk today about, well, people's number one asset. It's their house, home ownership. Okay, so the Federal Reserve has distorted the housing prices. They are off the charts. How? How do they do this? How do they distort housing prices? Well, it started back in the great financial crisis when homes came down. What did they start to do? They started to buy mortgage-backed securities, keeping interest rates low, keeping them low, making them go lower for buying a house. Right now, the Federal Reserve owns $2.2 trillion of mortgage-backed securities. Okay, so $2.2 trillion. That's one out of every three mortgages out there is owned by the Federal Reserve. Okay, now are they done? No, they're not done. They're not done. They're buying. They're buying right now. They're buying between $40 billion and $80 billion a month of mortgage-backed securities. They want to get it up to where they own two out of every three. Maybe they want to own every mortgage that's out there in existence. But what is this doing? What is this doing? It's pricing the majority of the public out of the housing market. Now I want to tell you, here's a funny story. Okay, here's a funny story. Now I live in a rich area. I get that. I live in Silicon Valley. I sell homes. I sell them, well, let's talk about Campbell, California. Campbell, California is a place where I sell a lot of houses. All right, so there was this house for sale. Now, these are conversations I got to have with my clients, and these are weird conversations these days. So the house for sale is $1.4 million. And I tell my client, well, it's a 1,300 square foot house, so you're paying over $1,000 a square foot, right? But in order to be accepted and get your offer accepted, you're going to have to bid above $1.4 million. Well, how much would we have to bid above it? I think if you bid $100,000 higher, you have a good chance to get the property. But the problem is if you bid $100,000 higher, the house will not appraise. So you got to waive the appraisal and just say you don't care what it appraises at, that you will buy it anyways. Okay, so let's put an offer in at $1.5 million on a house that's listed at $1.4 million. That's only 1,300 square feet in Campbell, California, right? Well, guess what happened? The house sold for $1.65, $2.5 million above asking price. Now, who's to blame for this? Well, the idiot broker. The idiot broker, they got to tell their clients, well, I guess I'm just a stupid broker. I thought $100,000 above asking would have got the property, but it wasn't even close. It sold for $250,000 more than the asking price. And this is going on everywhere around here anyways. I was just talking to a friend. He bought a house in Lake Tahoe. Bought it 5 years ago, paid $600,000. Right now, he can almost sell it for $1 million more. He thinks he can get 1.5. He paid $600,000 5 years ago, and now he can get it 1.5. But he doesn't want to sell. You know why? Because he Airbnbs this every week. It's rented out, and he keeps raising his rent, but it keeps filling up. There's such demand out there because no one is. Look, if you buy a house and you get into the house, do you really have to pay your mortgage? Could you just go on forbearance maybe and not pay as soon as the loan closes? Well, I think you can. The government says you can. Look, we have well over 10 million people not paying their mortgages right now. Okay, we have probably close to 15 or 20 million people not paying their rent right now. Why? Because the government says you don't have to. Why? Do you ever feel stupid for paying your mortgage or paying your rent? Well, actually, I think it's a good idea to pay both of those. I think it's going to come back and bite these people. But how is this going to play out? How is this going to end? Is the market ever going to crash? Did they just delay the market? Biden, he knows he has to keep the housing prices up, or this is all going to come down. Stock market's going to come down. Houses will come down. So what's he doing? Well, he just signed a bill, another $10 billion to bail out homeowners. $10 billion. Aren't homeowners rich? They're rich enough to own a home. Let's give them some more money, though. Hey, you want to buy a home? We're going to give you money, too. $15,000 down payment. We're going to pay for that. The government's got a lot of extra money these days. They're just handing it out. Why not? Why not? So what does this do? What this does is it distorts the housing market. It distorts it. It makes it only go up. It distorts the stock market. All this printing of money, it's got to go somewhere, right? It's got to go somewhere. If you just put it in the bank, you don't make anything, you lose. They're taking 25% of your purchasing power each year by printing $5 trillion a year. That wipes out your purchasing power of the dollars. So you have to get that money into the stock market. You have to get it into real estate. You have to get it into gold and silver. Get it into Bitcoin. You have to. Otherwise, you're a loser. You're going to lose all your money. It's that simple. Look at these housing prices are distorted. Why are they distorted? Look at what they're doing to lumber prices. Inflation's coming. What cost $700,000 to build before is now costing $1 million. Look at this market it's rigged. It's distorted. This is not reality. There is no price discovery. Pay whatever you can. Is this a good time to buy a house? No. If you don't have to buy, do not buy right now. There's no inventory. There's absolutely no inventory. Yeah, I know rates are low. That is a fact. And you know what's going to probably crash the housing market? Right? You see, it's kind of weird. Crashes help. I mean, they come when nobody expects it. When nobody expects a crash to come, that's when it's going to show up. Right now, everybody expects one. I expect one. This cannot go on forever. It cannot. It's ridiculous. It just keeps going up. There's a squeeze bid, whatever. Are homes in Campbell going to go $2,000 a square foot? A 1,300 square foot home going to be $3 million? Maybe. But I don't think it's so. I know it's not worth that. That's insanity. That's completely insane. But maybe people will have to pay that just to get a house. Look, I get the fact that there's demand out there. I get the fact that, 20 million people are living in their homes and not paying mortgages, not paying rent. I get all that. And those homes will start to come on the market as soon as the government quits distorting the prices. Quit giving away the money. Stop printing money. Look at the stock market, record high. Houses, record high. What's at a record high also? Unemployment. Every week we get 800,000 new people unemployed. We have 25% of the workforce not working right now. Government will tell you it's only 6%. They're crazy. Government will tell you there's only 2% inflation. They're crazy. Do you know that housing is not counted in the consumer price index? It's not counted as part of inflation. Is housing going up? It's going up like crazy. Maybe if they counted in inflation, inflation, maybe the Fed wouldn't be so excited to prop up the houses, to keep them artificially propped up. Maybe they would stop buying all of the mortgages. Maybe they would stop giving away the free money to homeowners. Maybe they wouldn't give the $15,000 so that first-time home buyers can go buy a house. Look it, the housing market is doing fine without the Federal Reserve jumping in and propping it up. So why do they do it? Why do they do it? They're so afraid that it's going to come down. If it comes down, everything comes to an end. And it's going to happen at some point. I don't know when. Do I think it's going to be this year? We still have 9 months left this year. Yes, I think it's going to start this year. I think it's going to start even with the forbearance, even with the eviction moratorium. You get interest rates spiking up, you're going to get the housing market coming down. It's that simple. I'm Tall Mike. This is what I talk about on this channel. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you really like it, punch that subscribe button. Get out there. Have a great weekend. We'll talk more next week. I'm Tall Mike. Bye-bye now.